This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen Gipp, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news. It's Wednesday, September 17th, 2025, and here are today's stories. Borders are about to get a high-tech upgrade as the European Union rolls out a new system that scans travelers' fingerprints and faces, promising smoother and more secure crossings. In China, no more dodging Social Security. A new law forces employers to pay up or risk big consequences, giving workers new protections and even the right to walk away with severance. From Africa, we'll hear why repairing and recycling are more than eco-friendly buzzwords. They're lifelines for communities where tools and training can be hard to come by. And bullying, it's not just kids being kids. We'll explore the toll it takes on confidence and mental health, and how parents, schools, and communities can step up to protect children. Plus, deep inside Transylvania's caves, a journey through sparkling crystals, ancient fossils, and hidden rivers reveals the secrets beneath the mountains. And in Tokyo, meet the Lyre, an ancient instrument with a gentle, healing sound. Today it's finding new life in music therapy, soothing hearts and minds around the world. Big changes are coming to the European Union border crossing, and it's about to feel a lot more futuristic. The EU Entry-Exit System, or EES, is set to roll out on October 12, 2025, using biometrics to track who's crossing and going and aiming for smoother, faster, and more secure borders. While the rollout will start gradually at border crossings, full implementation is expected by April 10, 2026. So, what exactly is the EES? It's an automated system for registering non-EU travelers entering the Schengen area, the zone that lets you travel freely between most European countries, for stays of up to 90 days within a 180-day period. It covers 25 EU countries. Cyprus and Ireland are exceptions, plus Ireland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland. Here's how it works. On your first trip, you'll provide fingerprints, a facial scan, and passport information. After that, future trips will just need quick biometric scans, skipping the old passport stamp routine. This system is designed to track overstays, prevent illegal migration, and boost border security, with the European Commission claiming it is maintaining high data and privacy protection standards. For short-stay visa holders, only your facial scan is stored since fingerprints are collected during the visa application. Travelers without visas will have both a facial scan and 4 fingerprints recorded. Children under 12 won't need to give fingerprints, but will still have their faces scanned.
If you're an EU national, that will not affect you right away. But for business travelers, tourists, and students, this means tighter border control. And if you overstay your visa by even a day, the EU will know immediately. That also applies to UK travelers. Fingerprint stations are already being built in London and Dover. The goal is to catch visa overstays and detect irregular migration. But there's more. It shifts border control from just security to mass data collection, giving the EU countries a powerful new migration surveillance tool. The EES will make life harder for migrants and asylum seekers who are already facing increased scrutiny. And now there will be a system that's tracking their every single move. There's also issues related to data misuse, profiling, and long-term storage of biometric data of people who are just passing through. It's clearly not just about faster queues. It's a fundamental change in the way EU sees and tracks movement. So, is it just about security, or is it about control?
Travelers are encouraged to use the Travel to Europe mobile app to pre-register their details for the EES. According to Frontex, the European Border and Coast Guard Agency, it lets non-EU travelers with biometric passports pre-register their information, like travel documents, facial images, and a quick questionnaire, up to 72 hours before travel. This could speed up the process, especially for more vulnerable groups like seniors or people with disabilities. But heads up, pre-registering doesn't guarantee entry. You'll still go through standard border checks, including fingerprint scans. EU countries can decide how to use the app's features at their borders. That said, experts are already warning these new biometric checks might cause some hiccups. Collecting biometric data and managing self-service kiosks could lead to delays if the infrastructure isn't ready.
Originally, your data would be stored for repeat visits, but because the UK and many EU ports, train stations and airports aren't ready with the right infrastructure, the system will rescan fingerprints and take a fresh facial photo of you every trip. Ferry terminals like Dover are warning of queues stretching hours, and airports like Heathrow expect longer processing times. Critics say it's turning simple holidays into surveillance checkpoints and raising privacy concerns. Until full infrastructure and databases are in place, there's no fast track, meaning Brits will face repeated scans for potentially years. Holiday freedom now comes with a fingerprint and a face scanner. Would you still go?
EU member states need to submit their rollout plans by September 24th. Some, like Estonia and Lithuania, are going all in for the October 12th launch, while others prefer a gradual approach. Starting in late 2026, non-EU travelers from visa-free countries like the US and UK will need to apply for ETIAS, European Travel Information and Authorization System, before visiting most of Europe. It costs about €20, which is about $23, is valid for 3 years, and covers short stays in 30 countries. Each time you cross a border, your entry and exit will also be logged in the new entry-exit system. Many countries collect travelers' biometric data through visas or airport checks, and its use is widely accepted despite being sensitive information. Governments are turning to biometrics, facial recognition, and AI for border control. But this raises serious human rights concerns. Amnesty International warns these tools can lead to surveillance, data breaches, and even put refugees at risk if shared with the wrong countries. Still, heavy investments in these technologies continue, often tied to rights violations. China's government just made a big move that's shaking up everyday life. No more skipping out on Social Security. For years, lots of workers and small businesses got around the rules, taking home a little extra cash instead of making contributions. But starting September 1st, 2025, that loophole closed for good. If an employer doesn't pay, workers can now demand back payments and even resign with severance. On paper, this makes more sense. China's population is aging fast. Pension funds are already running deficits in some provinces, and experts warn the country's main urban employee pension fund, the one that covers most city workers, could be broke by 2035 if nothing changes. The government solution? Force everyone to pay in. No excuses. But here's the problem. People don't trust the system. And the tougher the rules get, the more frustrated people seem to be. Some are speaking out by canceling their Social Security altogether.
Recently, videos circulating online show long lines outside Social Security offices across China. However, the people in these lines aren't paying their Social Security fees. Instead, they're canceling their Social Security. And this trend isn't confined to just one city. It's spreading nationwide. This comes just as the Chinese government announced new regulations that will make Social Security payments mandatory for everyone.
I'm here to cancel my Social Security now. I've been paying for flexible employment for almost 8 years, but this year it feels like too much pressure. The payments keep increasing every year. Now I'm paying around 1,400 yuan a month. With the current situation, I'm spending over 1,000 yuan extra every month, and it's really tough.
We just want to be temporary workers. We don't want to pay Social Security. I just want to work for a month or two, then take a break. How can you expect me to pay Social Security? You're taking 400 or 500 yuan out of my pay every month. I'm not going to agree to that, right? When I leave, I'll settle everything, including my wages, you know?
For a long time, a lot of workers, especially those in smaller companies, would skip social insurance and just take home a bigger paycheck. That choice is gone now. And while the government frames the change as protecting workers, many people see it as yet another way to squeeze their wallets. The skepticism runs deep. If benefits feel shaky or far off in the future, why sacrifice money today for something that might never show up? Small businesses aren't thrilled either. They argue the extra costs make it harder to hold on to staff. So some are turning to workarounds like hiring retirees or reclassifying employees as part-time to dodge the payments.
Let me give you a real-life case for a small steamed bun eatery in Beijing. And this was based on a netizen's recorded conversation with a neighborhood eatery owner. So the owner hires 5 employees at 5,000 yuan a month each. Currently, he buys no insurance for social insurance for himself or any of his staff. Under the new rules, he must pay 1,950 yuan per employee, while each worker must contribute 780 yuan. That's a total of 2,730 yuan per month per employee. Now, if you do the math, that's 55% of their salary. How could that be? That's high. Because the calculation isn't based on their actual wage, but based on Beijing's minimum social insurance base salary of 7,353 yuan, making the official rate about 37%. But the real percentage is like 55%. So this owner says that his employees won't pay their share because they don't earn enough, and they will quit if forced. So he'd have to cover it himself and pay the entire 2,730 yuan per person. Now, for a small eatery in Beijing, that's totally unsustainable. So he says he will have to close his business within a month if the rule takes effect.
When pension payments are skipped, whether by workers or their employers, the consequences show up fast. In cities like Shanghai and Guangzhou, parents need a steady record of contributions to get their kids into local schools, sometimes for years at a time. That same record also plays a role in accessing public health care, securing housing permits, and even qualifying for local residency status. Once payments are missed, it can trigger a chain of problems that are tough to fix and even harder to recover from.
I just went to the hospital for treatment and found out that after missing a payment for social insurance, I can't even use the balance in my health insurance account. I always thought that if you couldn't get reimbursement for things like medicine, it was just because of that, but the balance in your account would still be usable. But when I went to see the doctor, I found out that the money in my account couldn't be used either. This is my first time missing a payment, and I still have over 5,000 yuan in my account, but they told me it's unusable.
Can
you imagine? I've been working in Shenzhen for 10 years and paying into social insurance for 10 years now. But because I missed a few months of payments in the past year, my child can't apply for schools in Shenzhen. A friend shared his experience with me. He said he lost his job recently, and unemployment has become a daily struggle. He couldn't keep up with his social insurance payments, and now his child's education is stuck. After contributing to Shenzhen for 10 years, now his child can't even go to school. What's even more painful is that social insurance is tied to major life events, like buying a house, getting a loan, sending your kids to school, or applying for public housing. If your social insurance is interrupted, you could lose all your eligibility, and a lot of problems will follow. Trying to make up for missed payments, it's almost impossible. In Beijing, You must never let your social insurance lapse. If you stop paying, the consequences are dire.
The irony is clear. To keep the pension system alive, Beijing needs people to participate. But with mandatory contributions and a higher retirement age, some are resisting, quitting jobs, or doubting they'll ever see a fair return. Without steps to make the system feel fairer, like support for small businesses and gig workers, people may reject it entirely, putting the whole pension system at risk.
UNN Field Messenger Ugwowo emphasizes the importance of repairing and recycling, noting that many in Africa struggle without proper tools or training.
This is Field Messenger Ugwowo. Yes, it is up to me even to make sure that my environment meet up to many of the challenges, and that is the reason why I'm now presenting this very culture, maintenance and repairing culture. Inability to manage what we have, but we don't have the financial power of what it takes, as everything has been skyrocketed on a higher hike to purchase or to replace any damaged part of the thing we are using within our locality. It's a general maintenance and repair culture down to every aspect of human usage. So I continue to hope in anticipation to develop it in a higher range. The new products that they are bringing for us to use to replace the damaged ones is not superior, is not original. When that original one have gone, the so-called new one that is coming up is nothing to write home about. If you put it, it's just a question of a few months and it will spoil. So repairing or managing or maintaining the follow-comes become more trustworthy than even purchasing the low-quality fake product that they are pushing to us here. And that's the reason why I continue to pray for a great support, even as to bring what it takes to have a general vision recycling with the already raw material that is available within my locality.
As you can see, the surface of this one is not bright. So both the glass and the inner shine is going to be worked upon. Things are very, very possible to have a second best alternative, even when it comes to the end of the road. So it's a question of having a proper structure, a proper knowledge on how to go about things. Now, this is part of the local material. So any person that can see me through concerning my dream pursuit will be, I think I'll be very, very grateful.
It is up to all of us, yes, to make sure that the new age that have come will bring it to the brightest dim light, for we are already in the age of light. So, in as much the light is concerned, it emanates a wisdom from God, and the wisdom brings intelligence, and intelligence gives birth to creativity. And that is the reason why I have come up with this vision. So, wishing it to continue to spread even to the local Africans that are still facing the same challenges. Thank you.
At New Earth Innovations, we search the planet for nature's most powerful healers. This took us all the way to the coast of New Zealand. Our Omega 369 Plus is made from the Perna greenlip mussel, rich in omegas, chondroitin sulfate, and rare glycosaminoglycans. The Perna is one of nature's powerhouses. Support joint flexibility, easier breathing, better digestion, and a calmer, less inflamed body naturally. Grown in clean New Zealand waters, backed by nature, sustainably sourced, trusted by thousands. Subscribe today and start feeling the difference.
Hey, I'm Kirsten from Switzerland.
This is Wayne from Tucson.
Hi, my name is Desmond from Ghana.
I am Claudia from Dawsonville, Georgia. I'm Mikey from Pretoria, South Africa.
Hi, I'm Steve McGrath, Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada.
People from all around the world are coming together.
Happy day, beautiful world. We are here in a rather small urban garden, and this video is just to show you the joys that we've had in this garden with the electric gardening.
When news happens in their area, they show us what's really going on.
We have people in the streets protesting for and against.
At United Network News, our field messengers are changing the face of news.
This is Field Messenger Helen reporting with Nature, and I'm going to talk to you about the bees again.
Take the next step in restoring our planet. Become a UNN Field Messenger today.
Hi, I'm Stephanie from South Africa. If it's going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me. It's up to me.
It's up to me. It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to all of us. We're UNN, and we're taking back the news.
Bullying is more than just kids being kids. It's a serious problem that leaves lasting scars on confidence, mental health, and happiness. Whether it's happening in the classroom or online, so many kids feel stuck and helpless, unsure where to turn. Tackling bullying starts with all of us, parents, schools, and communities coming together to create safer, kinder spaces for every child. International research describes bullying as a form of repeated aggression that is intentional, harmful, and involves a power imbalance. The consequences of bullying are far-reaching, as highlighted by a recent Youth Truth report. In the U.S., less than half of students in elementary, middle, and high schools feel a sense of belonging at school, a critical factor in preventing bullying. The report shows 1 in 3 elementary students, 1 in 4 middle schoolers, and 15% of high school students experience bullying. Additionally, it reveals a sharp drop in students' sense of belonging between 6th and 8th grade, with bullied high schoolers nearly twice as likely to consider dropping out. The impact of bullying extends far beyond the classroom. Victims often face reduced academic performance, heightened anxiety, depression, and in severe cases, suicidal thoughts. These effects can follow them into adulthood, making it all the more important to step in early and create environments where every student feels safe and supported.
Have you ever wondered what bullying actually does to the brain? Because now we know. It's not just emotional, it's biological. New research is proving that repeated bullying actually changes the way that your brain is wired, especially if it happens repeatedly in childhood or adolescence. What we're talking about is actual damage to the brain in areas that are responsible for emotional regulation, self-worth, and memory. Victims of bullying show more signs of anxiety, depression, and PTSD, not because they're weak, but because their nervous system has literally been forced into survival mode. Your brain, it starts to think that the world isn't safe, and it shows up later in your life as complex PTSD, relationship struggles, and health issues, and for some people, even thoughts about taking their own lives. And this is why I created the Echo Movement, because this kind of damage, well, it's no longer invisible, and it's not something that a school counselor and a slap on the wrist is gonna fix. This is trauma, and it's time that the world started treating it like that.
Reasons for bullying vary, but common factors include appearance, race, gender expression, sexuality, and disability. However, research shows when adults consistently model respect, bullying decreases. This shows how important schools are in building acceptance, a sense of belonging, and kindness. The truth is, prevention is the best weapon against bullying. Schools can make a huge difference by training staff and students to recognize and address bullying. Setting up a school safety committee is another effective way to keep prevention efforts active and impactful. However, parents and schools don't always see eye to eye. For example, a study in Norwegian schools found 2/3 of the time schools disagreed with parents who said their child was being bullied. And sometimes when schools identify a child as bullying others, parents don't believe it. This disconnect can make solutions harder to find.
I'm sure we've all heard the words, "I'm sorry, we're doing all we can to help your child here at school, but we don't want to aggravate the bully." Or at least something similar to this, right? It's dismissive and infuriating, right? I mean, a school has a duty of care to look after your child, and after meeting with them to discuss the bullying, you're left feeling more infuriated and helpless than before. I know this because I've seen it many times. So what exactly can a school do to help your child? Well, actually plenty. Firstly, they should be looking to mediate the problem. There are a number of ways this can happen. With both parties, one-on-one with each of the parties, with parents involved, or with controlled peer intervention. Secondly, if all disciplinary approaches fail, the bully should be removed from the same classes, activities, and events to encourage less interaction. In most cases, schools tend to remove the victim as a resolution, and this does more damage than good. I mean, why should the victim be punished when they've been targeted? And lastly, if this hasn't helped the situation, then the school needs to be talking with the parents and discussing the possibility for either counselling, suspension, or expulsion. It's common for schools to not take bullying as seriously as it should be. It could literally be the difference between a victim growing up traumatized or not. All schools should follow some form of anti-bullying policy, and it's important that parents research this before going in for a meeting to discuss their child being bullied.
As a parent, you are your child's first line of defense. Not every child shows obvious signs of being bullied, so it's important to stay alert. Watch for changes like unexplained injuries, missing or damaged belongings, frequent headaches, changes in eating or sleeping, trouble at school, avoiding friends, low self-esteem, or even more serious signs like self-harm or talk of suicide. If you notice something feels off, trust your instincts and check in with your child. At the end of the day, bullying affects everyone involved. The kids being bullied, the ones doing the bullying, and even those who witness it. That's why it's so important to support all kids, address the root causes, and work together to stop bullying before it leaves a lasting mark.
UNN Field Messenger Monica explores the caves of Transylvania's Apusini Mountains, where sparkling crystals, fossils, and underground rivers reveal the hidden beauty and history beneath the earth.
Hi, Monica here, Field Messenger reporting for UNN. Recently, I visited 3 caves in the Apuseni Mountains, a mountain range in Transylvania that are open to tourists, caving clubs, and those interested in the scientific study of caves. They are the Crystal Cave, the Mesiac Cave, and the Bear Cave. Crystal Cave, discovered decades ago during mining operations, the cave is remarkable for its spectacular formations of transparent crystals. It's a rare phenomenon that exists in so few places of the world. Made of calcium carbonate, the crystals grow by about 1 millimeter every 20 years. Visitors enter the cave through a bauxite gallery, the raw material from which aluminum is made. Inside the gallery there is also a miner's museum with several mining tools on display. The visitor trail crosses 200 meters of mining galleries and 100 meters of cave galleries, whose walls are shaped by water and adorned with unique formations and crystals. The cave is divided into 3 sectors: tourist, theological, and scientific. Just 20 kilometers from the Crystal Cave is Mesiac Cave. My favorite because it is one of the oldest and longest caves in Romania. It is over 5 million years old and 7 kilometers long, arranged on several levels. The cave entrance portal is impressive, measuring 16 meters high and 20 meters wide. Its unique shape is often described as a figure 8. It includes 2 main connected galleries, one on land and one with a river flowing through it. The 2 galleries overlap in the middle of the figure 8 shape. There is a natural bridge that provides passage from lower to the upper level. Mesiat Cave is a natural reserve due to the richness and diversity of its formations and the presence of one of the largest bat colonies in Romania. Bear Cave is renowned for its spectacular array of speleological formations. Inside you will find various stalactites and stalagmites as well as cave bear tracks and fossils. The cave consists of 4 main galleries: the Bear Gallery, the Emil Rakovica Gallery, the Candle Gallery, and the Scientific Gallery. The tour begins in the Bear Gallery, also called the Gallery of Bones. The next gallery is named after Emil Rakovica, a Romanian scientist who founded the world's first geological institute in Cluj in 1920. It is the longest portion of the cave. The Candle Gallery ends at the cave exit. It is named after the numerous stalagmites that rise to different heights and resemble candles. You can get to the Scientific Gallery through a 30-meter-long shaft, but only professional cavers are allowed in. So, whether you are a tourist or cave scientist, the sight of these many formations allows you to admire Earth's unique beauty. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
UNN Field Messenger Yasuko from Tokyo introduces the lyre, a soothing instrument known for its delicate, healing sound. It is used in music therapy and features in the theme song for the movie Spirited Away.
Hello everyone, I'm Yasuko, Film Messenger for United Network News reporting from Tokyo, Japan. 私は以前、大きな木が枝の先でお互いの間に隙間を作るクラウンシャイネスという現象についてリポートしました。今回はライヤー奏者の鈴子さんと一緒にライヤーをご紹介します。皆さんはライヤーという楽器をご存知ですか？ライヤーはドイツで誕生し、ヨーロッパ各地、日本でも30年前に広がってきた心と体、そして魂に優しく響くヒーリング弦楽器です。日本のアニメ映画千と千尋の神隠しで主題歌にも使われています。木のぬくもりと倍音によって非常に繊細で深く包み込むような響きが特徴です。音楽療法や演奏会などさまざまな分野で使われています。初めてライヤーの音を聞いたときには全身に音が広がって喜びが湧いてきました。この音の響きは言葉では届かない心のより深いところへそっと触れてくれます。ぜひこの音の響きを皆さんに共有していただきたいと思います。ライヤーの奏でる音とクラウンシャイネスの映像のコラボで癒しをお楽しみください。 This is Field Messenger Yasuko, reporting for United Network News from Tokyo, Japan. Thank you for watching.
At UNN, you are the news. Get involved by joining our weekly Field Messenger meetings. Visit unitednetwork.earth to learn more. Remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me.